got a friend in the business, Zach. He just started recently, went through our telemastery program, and I'm insanely proud of his success. And we're going to unpack what he's gone through on his first hours on the phone. So, Zach, say hey. Thank you for joining with us.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Thank you for having me, Jason.
I'm so glad you got to come on. And first off, I'm crazy proud of the work that you put in going through our 5 day platform. How was the 5 days of training? Did
It
that
would
prepare you for what you were
it re-
looking
it
at?
re- it really did. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed myself. It was definitely a little rigorous. Which is great. Because I mean, you have to really be prepared for what you're going to encounter out here, and I think that with your expertise and your experience in the industry that you've really been able to understand that and be able to um, and result turn around and teach that to other people of what is actually basically managing their expectations and being realistic about it. Like, hey, listen, like, yeah, you're probably gonna get cursed out on the phone, or you're probably gonna get hung up on, or you're gonna get told no a lot. But with that, this is how we deal with it.
Absolutely. And I'm crazy proud of you. Did you have a big insurance background before you joined us, before you dove into this new career? Were you already a veteran agent slaying it over the phones? Like, share with the audience, what was your background? Did you have any insurance background at all?
Yeah, so I mean I had some common knowledge just from like my finance courses and whatnot, and then like listen to mom and dad talk about insurance at the dinner table and stuff like that. But um outside of that, not really. I mean, I got licensed back in October of this 2023. Sorry,
Ah,
it's a new year already. But
don't
yeah, I
worry.
got licensed back in October of 2023, like 4 months ago. Um, I was doing a bunch of research on YouTube on how to get started and what to say, what not to say, and then I came across you, and it's just your energy was just vibrant and a little contagious. Like it came through the video, which was great. And then even like every time our first set of conversations, like every time you picked up the phone, you just that energy was just there, and it was a make or break between me going from one company to another. So
Absolutely. And it's important to have people that are there for you. I mean, you just got after it. You found success within 2.5 hours of being on the phone. That's power. So you were trained 5 day platform. You got aged leads, not even brand new leads. You weren't dumping a bunch of money on leads. And then you got what, 13 calls, two cussed outs. Two, am I right?
yes,
In the numbers,
yes,
two cussed outs.
yeah, no, no, exactly. I mean, I think the biggest thing is the us going through our rebuttals, knowing what to say, um, and just doing that, and then you hitting us back to back rebuttals during our training was great, and that's really what I believe helps springboard me into getting write my first policy, my first day of calling within a couple hours.
That's
I know
huge.
I know it definitely made my wife happy last night. She was a little iffy about this and whatnot, but she trusts the process and whatnot. But I have a son on the way and everything, so it was definitely a leap of faith going through everything.
Well, I'm proud of you. I mean, to be able to make $100 an hour from the comfort of your home, that's not a bad thing. And when you see you already got paid on the policy that you wrote as well.
Yeah, I woke up this morning and the money was in my bank account. Like I was super happy. But I did want to say too, I feel like a lot of people get caught up on the leads and whatnot,
Right.
and like you said, they're age leads. I mean, they're 90-day-old leads. And they probably have been worked before by somebody. And
Absolutely.
with a lot of people not having the knowledge or the experience or the proper formal training that they need, like you give, um, they it falls through the track, which leaves great openings for us people who are actually trained and know what they're doing.
That's the big difference. A lot of folks don't realize it's not just spitting out words, but it's being sharp like what Zach is. And you did the work, my friend. I mean, you did. Like when we went through our training platform, was it easy?
It was not. It was not. It was a lot of the 5 days. Like we did our training for a couple hours, and then afterwards, like I, we had to study and we had to practice. And I'm starting to see the more and more I do this, that repetition is just making me even better.
Was there any objections that you faced that you weren't prepared for when you dove onto that phone? Like when you finally got into real leads. And before I go into that, like, for those of you viewers that need good aged leads for less than $2 a piece, reach out at jasonfinalexpense.com. We help so many agents from outside agencies as well. So if you do need that or need a work family to call a home, let us know. We'll give you those resources too. But, Zach, how was your experience with the rebuttals? Did you feel like you were really prepared when they started like cussing at you and giving you weird rebuttals? Because it's going to happen. I share with every graduating class this is going to take place. And did you feel like you were prepared for that punch when it happened to you? Were you in control?
No, no, absolutely. I mean, I feel like you, like I said, with your experience and your knowledge in the industry, like, I mean, you've ran into every rebuttal possible, and we have an answer for everything. Whether that's you're gonna let your kids handle it, or I don't have time right now to talk, or um, excuse my language, if I didn't request this, which you may get a lot too, because
Right.
people fill out stuff all the time and then forget they filled it out, and then they get upset with you because you actually called and like, well, and you just get my information out of nowhere. So, but yeah, no, every possible lead, whether it's money, time, or it is going to be done later, it has been addressed, and it's not just one specific rebuttal per like, hey, I don't have money. We had alternate ways of saying it. That way we didn't sound like a robot and repeating the exact same thing over and over again.
Practical advantage for those of you viewers watching is so important. You've got to train, you got to train some more. And Zach didn't train soft. He put in the work. And we definitely have a turnkey system, but Zach's the one that turned the key and pushed the skinny thing and went go. There's a lot of agents, believe it or not, that will sometimes train and never buy leads, never launch. And it's a big deal. I'm proud of you. You took the keys and took the car and put gas in it and went. I mean, to be able
Yeah.
to have dynamic success on age leads, embracing it, and you're sharper than most agents out there. I mean, 90% of the agent force, sometimes they fail because they failed to go through a 5-day training platform and truly master their craft. And you're just going to get better and sharper. I'm just
Yeah.
super proud of you.
No,
I mean,
and I really appreciate that. I mean, I also want to say these two things as well. Because I know a lot of people like they spend a lot of their time on like Netflix and things of that sort. So like it's a new year, invest in yourself. Like if you're really serious about being a life insurance agent, like invest in yourself. It may cost a couple $100 so you can get the proper training, but what you put in is what you get out. And I hardly believe that my father, that's what he raised me on. Like you gotta give a little to get a little, and what you put in is what you get out. And then
it's so true.
I think the other major thing that that I knew subconsciously, but you really reiterated it a lot during our training was more so just make sure that we're compassionate and our number one goal is to take care of the customer or in some sense our new family member. And if we do that, the sale just automatically is going to come. And doesn't you don't have to be that old school pushy salesperson just trying to get the thing, which I know a lot of agents experience a lot of chargebacks to that. So I mean, if you focus on taking care of that person, and like you would take care of your grandmother per se, the, you're going to get the sale. You absolutely will get the sale. If you have a system and your true intention is to take care of them, you're going to get the sale. It's going to fall in your lap, and it's going to be easy, and you'll be able to um, repeat that process over and over and over again. And it's going to be genuine. It's not going to be forced. It's not going to be hard. You're not going to say a lot or stumble over your words because you're actually truly trying to help them.
So much wisdom you just dropped for the audience. It's truth. Like when you went through, and you're getting the sales that you have because you've made multiple sales already, and but this is massive. Like when you're done with that sales presentation, it wasn't awkward. It's almost like electric. You're like their best partner, taking care of their problems. We're not pushy. A lot of folks like put us in a box of, oh, an insurance salesman is just this pushy person that just doesn't take no for an answer and won't be quiet, right? It's a different experience. Was it kind of like a neat feeling once you kind of wrapped his problems up and took care of
Oh,
him that day?
oh yeah, no, absolutely. I'm gonna say the gentleman I dealt with, he had um his uncle passed, and it really tore his family apart. This was before starting a GoFundMe page and all that too. Like this was several decades ago. He said it really tore his family apart. They didn't know how to come up with the money and whatnot. And instead of burying him like he wanted, they had to go with the cheaper option and do a cremation, which wasn't ideal. But I mean,
Right.
because the insurance wasn't in place um and a lot of people don't know about the importance of getting insurance. That's why it's important for us as agents to treat them like we would, like I said before, treat them like our grandmother and make sure that we're helping them take their need and not really pushing for the sale, but pushing for them to make sure they have proper coverage. So when something happens, not if, but when something happens,
Mm.
they're able to take care of. Because I didn't again, I know subconsciously, I mean, it makes sense. But I know a lot of funeral home agents, and of course, they're in the business to do, but their game is to manipulate families in order to get a higher sale and whatnot. And if you don't have that life insurance and you're coming out of pocket and you think you got to spend 20, $30,000 to bury someone, I mean, the average person doesn't have that just sitting around. So now you had to take mom or dad has to take a mortgage out on the home, and then I mean it could be a snowball effect where they end up losing the house just over just one little simple thing of getting just a little burial coverage or a little term coverage to in order to take care of you and your family.
And guarding the greatest generation on the planet is so much fun. I mean, like our interactions with consumers are a lot different than maybe they've been used to hearing scripts from. And that's the beauty of where you can touch an age lead and just tee off. Take care of good people. Yes, get sworn at.
Yeah.
Which nobody likes talking about. But it's powerful that you can see a different result touching the same leads that sometimes maybe one other agent's touched in their life and they did a little sloppy job. It's a big opportunity,
Oh yeah, no,
and I'm
absolutely. I really feel
proud of
like
your hard work.
I'm fulfilling that inner need to help people.
Mhm.
I feel like um I feel like I've been challenged with that a majority of my life. I'm not 30 years old and I'm always in a place to where I'm always trying to help someone else and whatnot. Um and what I do now, I'm able to help and I can see the difference um of what being able to make sure someone has um that life insurance in place that's going to cover them. That way their child or the grandchildren or whoever the significant other is doesn't have to worry about anything.
Absolutely. It's one of the greatest things on the planet that we're privileged to do. It's like, locking those problems up and, just loving all these families it's a precious privilege, 100%. And I think that a lot of people have a view of insurance sales. It's just so slimy or different. And that's why you've trained as hard as you have. And
Absolutely.
many agents have as well. You put in the work and you're doing it and continuing and just, I love it. And for those that are watching in the audience, how long does it typically take you to get a hold of me? Even prior or post training, where you're on the phones or you have questions or just something going on, that you're kind of wondering about. How long does it take you to get a hold of me typically?
It's funny you say it's typically 95% of the time, it's typically within like 30 seconds. If you're not answering, you're following up with a text saying, "Hey, like what's going on? What can I help you with?" And be able to communicate that way. And that was impressive. Like even before I joined your telemastery course and whatnot, like you still even picked up the phone and and were back to me was back to me. And I wasn't even a part of your agency or anything within 20 minutes. It was incredible. It makes all the difference in the world, especially if you um um I know the what it was yeah, it was yesterday. I was in the middle of doing the system and the system glitched. I didn't know what to do. I started sweating and got nervous. Like, and I was able to text you and that's all the difference in the world. I know there are a lot of people out here, different agencies, their uplines aren't always there or their mentor, whoever is helping them with the process isn't always there readily available. And I love that you make sure that you're available to every agent with inside our family here.
It's just I love watching our work family just explode and do great things and just more importantly guard great people and create a living. It's not easy for those of you viewers that are watching this. 90% of the agent force fails and it's not an easy business. So never look at insurance sales like it's easy money. It's the best paying, simple, hardworking money you've ever seen in your life when you make it. But you got to be disciplined. You've got to be one that's tight. It's easy to take shortcuts, right, Zach? Like I know in our
Absolutely.
training, you weren't one that really took many shortcuts, but all of us when we're brand new, myself included, when I was brand new at this, we're gonna make little mistakes, where it's like, let's do it right or let's just do it again. It's no big deal. Repetition helps, but little things sometimes can become bigger things than we know when you're in the
Absolutely.
trenches of the telespace. It's not an easy business, not by any stretch, but if you make it in this business, there's no better life. I mean, does your wife, does she love the fact that you can be present, but yet still fully embracing your business?
Absolutely. I think that's the biggest comfort that she has right now is the fact that our baby boy will be here in March and I'll be working from home and be able to be a hands-on dad, which I know a lot of people struggle with I mean, either trying to be the main source of the household or having to work 60, 70 hours a week. I mean, it's stressful. And then you come home and all you want to do is rest. And it takes
Right.
away from that important time with your children. So I'm very blessed that I have the opportunity to actually be able to work from home, fulfill my inner need to help and what I feel like God has put me on this earth to do, um, and make great money at it all at once.
Right? It's like a win-win. There's nothing.
Absolutely, it's a trifecta.
It is like the telesales life. There's no life like the telesales life. I mean, now don't get me wrong. For those of you watching, we train a lot of agents face to face as well, and we sell life and Medicare and annuities. We do it face to face for certain agents that want to go that route. But telesales is just terrific. The fact that you can work from home, like Zach, he can be present with his wife and his little one on the way, and it still looks like work though. It doesn't mean that we have a phone sitting in the corner and we got leads that aren't getting called. It takes work and it takes sweat, right? Like I don't think we talked about that. The sweat that happens when you and I work, man, it gets warm, right? When we're on that phone call and that maybe things don't go our way because maybe we can't. There's a glitch in the system, or maybe when we trained on heck day on Wednesday, the sweat that comes from that.
Yeah.
Was there some perspiration involved in training as well as in the trenches of the telespace when you went live?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it just I think the thing is, I try to be a little bit of a perfectionist, and I know a lot of people do that as well, and so they allow their mental space to get in the way of them actually being actionable and actually doing it. Um, and I feel like as soon as you make that first call and you get that first person that's just either rude or even that just that first person that's like, hey, like I appreciate you calling me. I've been actually waiting for someone. Like the joy comes from it, and your nerves are immediately eliminated, and it's going to just help you springboard to the next cell and then next cell and helping the next family.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you coming on our YouTube channel for the audience, Zach. I really appreciate you giving them some transparency on, the sweat and the work and just, your why and how you keep taking care of great people. I appreciate you greatly. And if you need anything at all,
Absolutely.
for those of you viewers watching, jasonfinalexpense.com. Zach, I appreciate you, buddy.
Hey, Jason, I wanted to say one last thing. For anybody that is on that fence of wanting to do something, or you're in the middle of a career change or anything of the sort, like do it. I understand the way the economy is right now, and this is something that's you can get in with a low investment as long as you're willing to put the work in and actually go for it and whatnot. Like this is an opportunity that it can bring you more time with your family, with your husband, with your wife, whoever it is. And I really encourage you to step out. And like I said, Jason, he's been there from day one since I inquired about his stuff. So if you need help, definitely check him out. Like I said, his website's jasonfinalexpense.com. Check him out, give him a call, and he knows exactly what he's doing.
Awesome. Well, thank you for those words, Zach. I really appreciate it greatly. And we'll go get back into the trenches of the telespace. We're going to go take care of some good people. We know they need
A-
us.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you greatly, my friend.
Thank you.